Before fast food was popular, chains like McDonald's, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut had to figure out what customers actually wanted to eat, which meant years of some of the most bizarre food experiments ever. From items that instantly failed to ones that gained a cult following, while others just made you wonder how they ever got approved. Here are 10 of the weirdest fast food items that only previous generations got to try. Like back in 1985 when McDonald's almost went to war with Pizza Hut, until their master plan backfired horribly. Because when they wanted to compete with pizzerias in the late 1980s, they tried introducing the McPizza, a thin crust version of a fast food pizza that customers can order in 3 different sizes, with dozens of different toppings to choose from, like pepperoni, olive, and even crispy bacon, which became so popular among customers that Pizza Hut began scrambling to increase revenue, quickly launching ads calling the McPizza the McFrozen, along with dozens of strategic coupons, giving the McPizza such a bad rep that McDonald's was forced to fight back, quickly expanding the McPizza to even more locations, while pumping out ads to promote the quality that claimed their pizza was the best in fast food. But as McDonald's began receiving more and more orders, the pizza's long cook time slowed down kitchens so much that the drive-thru were flooded with frustrated customers, eventually forcing McDonald's to pull it. And while McDonald's was failing to introduce pizza, Taco Bell was doing some experiments of their own, because they wanted a brand new item that could stand out on the menu while competing head-to-head with McDonald's. But instead of Mexican food, Taco Bell's customers were shocked after fish was added to the menu, because when the CEO saw how successful McDonald's was with their Filet-O-Fish sandwich, they wanted to create a brand new item to compete head-on, and assembled an expert team tasked with creating the perfect competitor, quickly introducing their version called the Seafood Salad Bowl, featuring shrimp, whitefish, and even snow crab, all served in a crispy taco shell bowl to stay on brand with the rest of the menu, which Taco Bell was so confident would destroy the Filet-O-Fish that they spent thousands on new custom-made commercials, mocking the sandwich and calling it a cheap, messy sandwich. But instead of McDonald's firing back, they decided to leave it up to customers, and simply told them to buy both items and decide which was the winner, who, after trying the seafood salad for themselves, quickly realized the Filet-O-Fish was not only tastier, but easier to eat, which paired with Taco Bell's sudden food poisoning allegations that claimed their fish products could cause extreme illness, forced them to remove the item. But if you're anything like me and also thought having a seafood salad at Taco Bell was one of the most insane company decisions, you can always count on hungry customers to take things to a whole other level. Like 20 years ago when In-N-Out was forced to create a 100-patty burger, because until 2005, anyone was allowed to place a custom-built order, meaning you can add as many patties and cheese as you wanted. There was literally no limit, which was such an insane rule that a man named Will Young decided to take full advantage when ordering a single burger that can not only feed him but also his friends, by coming up with the crazy idea to create what he called the 100 by 100, which included everything in a normal burger but with 100 beef patties and 100 slices of cheese, along with all the classic toppings and sauce, stacked between 2 small buns, clocking in at over 20,000 calories and taking over 2 hours for him and his friends to even finish, which was such a massive burger that it got all the way back to management, who didn't want kitchens dealing with tons of big orders after the incident went viral online, and quickly capped burgers at 4x4, claiming any custom creations were not allowed. Which might seem extreme, but it's what chains like McDonald's have been doing for years to keep things running smoothly. But even McDonald's can make massive mistakes, like the time they tried making their burgers fancy to get older customers, but it backfired horribly after. McDonald's lost $100 million trying to sell this burger, because when the company wanted to appeal to older customers in the 90s, they tried introducing the Arch Deluxe, a brand new burger specifically designed for adults, where instead of using cheap bread and toppings, like most items on the menu, the Arch Deluxe only featured premium ingredients, from a potato flour bun to fancy Dijon mustard and even hickory smoked bacon, creating such a premium taste that was unlike anything ever served on the menu, which McDonald's was so confident would succeed that they spent over $100 million on ads alone to guarantee every person in America knew it existed, building so much hype for the burger that when it finally launched, thousands of customers rushed to give it a try, wondering if an adult-only burger was really worth the hype. But there was only one massive problem, because when fans actually tasted it, they quickly realized McDonald's wasn't the place for a high-end meal, and actually preferred the cheap burgers they were good at, forcing McDonald's to discontinue them. And after McDonald's completely failed to sell their adult-only burger, you'd think chains would finally stop making insane promises to customers, right? But of course, Burger King had other plans, because the marketing for their brand new item was somehow even crazier when Burger King almost changed the English language. But why? Well, when they wanted to improve their brand in the 1970s, they decided to introduce an all-new sandwich called the Yumbo that was unlike anything that had ever sold before, because instead of using regular ingredients like lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise, the Yumbo came with hot ham and melted cheese that were cooked to the perfect temperature before being packed in a special container to keep the meal hot. But when customers continued to ignore the item, Burger King was left scrambling to build up hype, eventually coming up with the insane idea to run one of their boldest commercials yet. And instead of simply announcing a discount or special offer, they tried to gaslight customers into trying the item by claiming that the name Yumbo would become so famous that it was going to be added as a real word in the English dictionary. But when customers finally decided to give it a try and quickly realized realized it wasn't worth double the price of a Big Mac, Burger King eventually gave up. Which might always seem like the best option when an item is losing millions, but if chains gave up that easily, we literally wouldn't have some of the most iconic fast food items of all time. Because McDonald's lost millions trying to sell the McNugget before it was even added to the menu. Because when they were trying to create new items in the 1970s, they came up with the Onion McNuggets, where instead of the chicken mixture we know today, they cut up large chunks of onions and fried them in their classic batter before serving them in small cartons similar to their fries, which seemed like such a great idea that McDonald's put millions of dollars into advertising. Since onion rings had been popular at restaurants for decades, building up so much hype that when the nuggets finally launched at select locations, thousands of customers rushed to give them a try, hoping the fried snack was as good as it sounded. But there was one massive problem. When customers realized that eating onion nuggets was way less enjoyable than the classic rings, it seemed like an end of the McNugget, until the McDonald's chairman suggested that the head chef replace the onions with chicken, which sold out so fast on launch that they turned into the now classic item, the Chicken McNugget. But McDonald's isn't the only chain who did a lot of experimenting, because most of the chains we knew today were way different for our parents, with some having such memorable experiences that they still remember them today. But if you're thinking it has to do with moving animatronics, think again, since Pizza Hut used to treat you like a king, because if you ate at one of their restaurants in the 1980s, you were instantly met with a completely different experience, which started the second you ordered. Because while waiting for your pizza to finish cooking, each restaurant had a complimentary salad bar featuring lettuce, bacon bits, and even creamy Italian dressing that came together to build the perfect appetizer, and was entirely free for customers while they enjoyed their meal, which they paired with a team of dedicated waiters who sliced and served your pizza right in front of you, creating an even more premium experience. But it didn't end there, because along with Parmesan and pepper already on the table, each restaurant contained massive red booths and a jukebox in the corner, and even classic arcade games that anyone could enjoy, so kids could stay entertained while parents finished eating. But as other pizza chains like Little Caesars started prioritizing higher profits, it became hard to compete while offering so many things, and Pizza Hut eliminated the experience, which honestly might be one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever heard. But even worse would be if we didn't hit 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So subscribe! And even though some chains were getting rid of things, others were still adding new items. Just like when KFC shocked customers after trying to sell a hot dog wrapped in chicken, because when they wanted to see what people were willing to buy, they launched their limited time Double Down Dog, where a regular hot dog was wrapped in fried chicken strips before being topped with cheese and a special sauce. And even though the company didn't expect much, it ended up being a hit item with fans during its limited release, with it selling out so fast in the Philippines that it started blowing up across social media, with US customers begging for it to be brought to America. So KFC decided to create an even crazier item and announced the Double Down Sandwich, which contained the usual crispy bacon, cheese, and secret sauce from their normal menu items, but replaced the buns with two massive pieces of fried chicken, which became so popular that it sold over 1 million times in just the first month, with customers left wondering what the next chicken wrapped option would be, until KFC revealed that they were just limited items and pulled them from the menu. And even though it hurts my soul that I never got to try either of those fried chicken creations, sometimes it's definitely a good thing for menu items to be removed, especially when they aren't what they seem. Like when Burger King accidentally pranked the entire country after trying to create their most insane item yet, because when they came up with the idea to serve a fully black burger, it was specifically designed to go viral across social media by filling their buns with A1 steak sauce and releasing them at all stores before Halloween to create a burger so bizarre that customers wouldn't be able to avoid it, with commercials claiming that the item was so deliciously dark that thousands of customers went to try it for themselves, who ended up enjoying the combo so much that they started begging for it to become a seasonal item, until something completely unexpected happened when customers who ate the Halloween Whopper started posting their bright green poop the next day, quickly realizing that the last thing they all ate was Burger King's all-black burger, causing so much panic across social media that hashtag green poop was trending everywhere, with hundreds of customers believing they were poisoned, leaving medical experts to investigate the situation just to confirm it was actually caused by the food dye, which is still a little crazy to me since somehow nobody caught that in testing. But if you thought Burger King and KFC were the winners of the weirdest food in this video, then think again, because pizza chains are definitely no exception, since in 2024, Domino's released their most shocking pizza ever, because while most chains were serving traditional fast food pies that customers were used to ordering for decades, Domino's decided to break their biggest rule in pizza by launching their volcano pie across Japan, which completely changed the way customers ate the pie, featuring a massive bread mountain in the center that was filled to the top with melted cheese and paired with pepperoni craters around the pie to make it look like the volcano had just erupted, creating such a unique fast food experience that most competitors were sure the item would fail, since customers were used to having classic thin pies and wouldn't want to eat something so messy. But when fans actually tried the item for themselves, something totally unexpected happened, because instead of throwing the pies away and ordering the usual, they were quickly shocked by how great the combo tasted, which paired with it having almost no competition in Japan made it go so viral across social media that customers started begging for it at all locations. And honestly, to each their own. From the birth of the McNuggets to the insane idea idea for an all-black burger? Fast food history is proof that chains are still always guessing what customers actually like. Or maybe they've known it all along and just find it funny to watch us suffer. Either way, the next classic item could be just around the corner. Comment if you agree, and I'll see you next time.